In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can animate textures within an animation. Now this can be useful for several things. One use would be changing a character's pose during an animation. So you can have him facing one direction, and then as he punches or does a roundhouse kick, you can change those poses so that it looks like he's rotating in 3 dimensions. Another way you can use this is to have animated numbers or any kind of texture really. What we're going to do in this tutorial is show you how to make an animated number. So let's start by creating a new scene. Let's create a new bone animation data. So let's create a bone. Let's just call it number. And a new clip. Let's just call that count. So we'll start by setting to an image. Let's pick the GUI atlas and start with the number 0. And you can see down here the number 0 is all set to go. Alright, so let's add another keyframe. I can add a blank with a B and click texture and then 1. That'll work. Or I can just click the T key and that automatically puts in a texture keyframe. So I can just keep doing this. Let's just go to 5. So now when we play, it just counts up. You can see it's doing all the texture switching for you. If you were to try to do this in something like Maya, it would be extremely difficult. You'd have to get all your UV coordinates and somehow set animation triggers in your animation and then switch out those coordinates manually. Smooth Moves lets you do this very easily. You just set your texture that you want. You can even change your atlas. You don't have to have the same atlas. This can be really helpful, especially if you're changing character poses. You might have a totally separate atlas for the back position of a character as opposed to the front of a character. An example of how this texture animation can be used can be found in Rise of the Dough. If you'll go to the pizza animation and open it, in the spawn animation clip right here, you'll see as the pizza comes out, there's a dome of pizza that kind of bulges upward, and then it switches immediately to different textures. So you can see that's one way you can use this texture animation, is by having one texture doing its thing and then somewhere in the clip change it out to other textures. So that's just a real simple example. So that's a really simple way on how to animate textures.